Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Green, a Technology Accessibility Training Specialist with the Faculty Resource Center's Emerging Technology and Accessibility team. Our team works to ensure that all technology users, including those with disabilities, have a functional and accessible technology experience with the university's websites and the technologies we use for teaching, learning, and administrative functions. And you can find more information about our efforts on our website at accessibility.ua.edu. We use social media to share information and engage with our audiences. However, by failing to ensure our social media content is accessible to users with disabilities, we erect barriers to engagement and undermine the success of our efforts. Today's session will cover social media accessibility, why it matters, common accessibility challenges and solutions, and what you need to know to ensure your messages reach the largest possible audience across social media platforms and when using specific sites and apps. A quick moment for housekeeping. This slide includes a picture of me. I have my webcam turned off, but I thought you might like to see with whom you're speaking today. To improve audio quality, I have everyone muted by default, but when you want to talk, just select the microphone icon in your Zoom controls to mute or unmute yourself. You can also choose to have your camera on or off. Please do mute your microphone when you're not speaking. When I'm talking or sharing my screen, please write in the chat box and let me know if you can't see or hear something. And you're welcome to use that chat box throughout. I may not be watching closely while I'm talking, but I'll do my best to check in every once in a while. And if I don't see your question or comment immediately, don't worry, I will come back to those at the end. This session is being recorded, and I'll send you a link to that recording via email in the next few days, along with links to resources shared during the session. With that, let's go ahead and get started. A recent survey by the Pew Research Center found that some 88% of 18 to 29-year-olds indicate that they use some form of social media. 78% of those ages 30 to 49, 64% of those ages 50 to 60, and 37% of Americans ages 65 and older reported using at least one social media site. Like the general population, people with disabilities use social media to connect with one another, engage with news content, share information, and entertain themselves. For some people with disabilities, social media can also be a lifeline, a way to connect with information and assistance, a bridge to community, a path to employment, and a way to tackle isolation. For these reasons, and to meet our legal requirements as a public university, it's important to ensure the social media content we create is accessible to users with disabilities. As an added bonus, the steps we take to make our content more accessible also make it more discoverable and usable by people of all abilities. We'll start by talking about some general tips for creating accessible social media content. First, provide your contact information. Many strategies for developing accessible social media content can be applied across social media platforms, including this one. For example, providing your contact information if the platform enables you to do so, listing a primary phone number and email address where someone can reach you. We can see this being done by the Birmingham Education Foundation on their Facebook page. I'm going to switch over to that now. In the About section of the Birmingham Education Foundation's Facebook page, they list a phone number, an email address, and a website. If the site or app you're using doesn't offer the ability to provide contact information in this manner, provide a link to a page on your website that lists the appropriate contact information. Looking at another example, this is the Smithsonian Institution's Twitter page, Twitter profile. The Smithsonian provides a link to its homepage in their Twitter profile's website field. It's where I'm hovering my mouse now. They also provide links to additional pages of interest in their bio. Right now, focusing on women's history, as well as a link to some legal information that tends to stay up year-round. Another general tip that applies across platforms is communicating clearly and concisely. You can enhance the accessibility of your social media content by writing in plain language to ensure that people can understand and use the information provided in a social media post. Key best practices for writing in plain language include choosing words that are common and easy to understand, using clear, short sentences and paragraphs, and writing in the active voice instead of the passive voice. Your content is more likely to be accessible if it's conveyed in multiple ways. Don't just use images, color, video, or audio. Share important information across all of your social media channels, modifying the content and its presentation so it's appropriate to each platform and audience. So for example, typically an Instagram post will include hashtags, sometimes many hashtags. Well, the hashtags included with an Instagram post may not make sense on Facebook and may, in fact, create visual clutter. Another example, if you post an image of text on Snapchat, let's say a graphic promoting an event, also include a link to a relevant web page or events calendar entry. Provide that content in multiple ways. When working with color, you should make sure that color isn't your only method of conveying important information. For example, listing do's in green and don'ts in red. And this is primarily to ensure your content is accessible to people who have color vision deficiency, sometimes called color blindness, but it's also a principle of universal design for learning. By using more than just color to convey information, you're providing multiple means of representation. Those of you who have been in workshops or webinars with me before have probably seen this image before. I use it when talking about color contrast in documents and web content, but I actually created the example with the images of text I often see being shared via social media in mind. So the image on this slide is an image of text on a gray, cloudy background. The text is gray, and reads, "Be someone's sunshine when their skies are gray." So both the foreground text and the background are shades of gray, except for the word sunshine, which is yellow. This combination of colors is difficult for many of us to read, but it's especially challenging for users with low vision and users in bright sunlight. There are several tools you can use to check for sufficient contrast. One of my favorites is the WebAIM Color Contrast Checker, which not only lets you check to see if your color choices meet the contrast ratios specified by the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.0 AA. WCAG 2.0 AA specifies one ratio for normal text and another for larger text. They define larger text as 18 point or larger and 14 point and bold or larger. So WCAG specifies color contrast for those sizes. The tool lets you check to see if your color combinations meet those ratios, but also helps you pick color combinations that do if yours don't. So the way the tool works is you enter the hexadecimal codes for the background and foreground colors. If your color combination fails to pass the test, you can adjust the lightness slider to modify the colors by slight degrees until you get a result that has sufficient contrast. So in this instance, you might darken the foreground color or lighten the background color, or maybe do a little bit of both until you get a passing result. Another tool that our team likes is the color contrast analyzer by the Paciello group. And the color contrast analyzer works on the web and with documents and images on your computer. You can enter hex codes to check or use an eyedropper tool to select colors to check. There's also a very low-tech way to see if color contrast is sufficient, and that's to print the content in question in grayscale. Another accessibility principle that applies across sites and apps is captioning or providing transcripts for media. Captions are text that appear on a video to match its soundtrack and include dialogue and nonverbal sounds like thunder or dog barking. The screenshot on the left side of this slide shows a caption video playing in the YouTube player. Here, the captions appear in white text on a black background in the lower third of the video above the player controls. A transcript is a written record of a video or audio recording. It may or may not include descriptions of filler sounds like or An example of an NPR interview transcript is shown on the right side of the slide. In the transcript, speakers are identified by their names and titles with their words transcribed exactly as the speaker says them. Captions can be built from a transcript by breaking the text up into small segments called caption frames and synchronizing them with the media so that each caption frame can be displayed at the right time. As always, we're here to help. Our area, the Technology Accessibility Team, can provide guidance on how to use the captioning and transcribing features in most players, platforms, and lecture capture systems. Our area also administers grants to professionally caption or transcribe UA-owned video or audio that will be shared on public or campus-wide sites. And you can find information about the captioning grants on our website at accessibility.ua.edu. Depending on the nature of your video that you've shared via social media, it may also need audio descriptions. Audio descriptions are particularly beneficial for users with visual disabilities. A standard audio description narrates the visual parts of the video and is played in between the video's dialogue and other essential sounds. Let's take a look at a quick example of a video with audio description. This is a trailer for the movie Frozen. Audio description is provided in a female presenting voice with a British accent.
From the creators of Tangled and Wreck-It Ralph, Disney. A carrot-nosed, coal-eyed snowman shuffles up to a purple flower peeping out of deep snow.
Ooh, hello.
He takes a deep sniff. His nose lands on a frozen pond. A reindeer looks up and pants like a dog. Seeing the reindeer slip on the ice, the snowman smiles and moves towards him, though actually he's running on the spot. The reindeer falls on his chin. The snowman uses his arm as a crutch. The reindeer paddles his front legs. Head over heels, the snowman crawls along the ice. The reindeer does the breaststroke. The snowman rolls his body, but flips onto his back. The reindeer's tongue sticks to the ice. The snowman hurls his head. Twig arm and reindeer lips tug at the carrot. The carrot flies off and lands in soft snow. The reindeer goes after it with snowman and his body parts hanging on his tail. The snowman puts himself back together again and glumly contemplates his noseless state. The reindeer jams the carrot back in place and pants like a proud puppy. The snowman pats him with his stick-thin arm, then goes to sneeze. He grabs his nose with both hands. His head shoots off. Frozen, coming this winter in 3D.
You may be wondering when it's necessary to provide audio descriptions. If video is produced with accessibility in mind, then audio descriptions are often unnecessary, as long as visual elements within the video are described in the audio. You'll also want to pay attention to the links you share. You can avoid sharing lengthy URLs that are difficult to read by using a link shortener. Some social media platforms, such as Twitter, offer link shortening functionality built in, or you can connect a third-party tool like Bitly to your account. It can be helpful to indicate what sort of content you're linking to as well: a video, a web page, a sign-up form, an article. And of course, you'll want to make sure the content you're linking to is accessible. Finally, check out the help documentation of the sites and apps you use to learn more about their accessibility. All of the specific tools we're about to discuss provide information about accessibility settings and features, and I'll send you links to those pages. The best practices we just discussed apply across platforms and to other areas of digital content creation. But each social media site also has its own unique accessibility features and challenges. Let's address a few of those now, starting with Facebook. A couple years ago, Facebook added an automatic alternative text feature that uses object recognition technology to create descriptions of photos. To use it, users open Facebook with a screen reader and focus on an image. If objects are identified, the user may hear a list of items the photo may contain or a description written by the person who uploaded the photo. We're going to take a look at how that works now by way of a video. Every day, 2 billion photos are uploaded across Facebook's family of apps. Imagine if you couldn't see them.
SSOONNG. Friends 937. Newsfeed. Lindsay Russell updated her cover photo yesterday at 10:29 p.m. This image may contain outdoor, cloud, foliage, flattened, tree. This image may contain 6 people, child, close up, like, 1 or more people, jewelry, smiling, 19 likes, 3 comments like.
Now I can see the picture in my head. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have been that close up. Like, now I can say it.
I love it. You have no idea. This is amazing.
The whole saying of pictures being worth 1,000 words, I think it's true, but unless you have somebody to describe it to you, even having like 3 words just helps flesh out all the details that I can't see. That makes me feel like included and like I'm a part of it too.
I can just call my mom like, yay, I seen your picture. And she'll be like, what? She was like, how you see it? Because my phone read it to me. It's new. I seen it.
I feel like I can fit in. There's more I can do.
And I'm going to mess with my mother head so much. I'm so loved.
Facebook's mission is to make the world more open and connected, and that goes for everyone. So for a while, this automatic alt text wasn't editable, but now you can replace this text to provide a better description of an image. Right now, this can only be done on a computer. It's not something that's available through the mobile apps, but let's take a look at how you can see and edit alt text for a photo before and after you post it. So we're going to do that by taking a look at the Technology Accessibility Team's Facebook page. I'm an administrator for this page. I have the ability to post images. So I'm going to do that by in the post creation dialog, selecting the option to add a photo or video. I'll now choose upload photos, video. I'm navigating to where I have the photo saved that I wish to upload. I'm selecting the photo I wish to upload, choosing open. If I hover over the photo I wish to upload and select edit photo, I can access the ability to provide alternate text. So I'm going to select text from the left sidebar. Whoops. Sorry, alt text from the left sidebar. And Facebook tells me the automatically generated alternative text for this photo is one or more people and outdoor. Add alternative text that describes the contents of the photo for people with visual impairments. So the photo is actually of Big Al, costumed elephant mascot, on the sidelines of the field at Bryant-Denny. So it is correct that it is one or more individuals and outdoor. However, we could probably provide a better description of the content of this image by overriding the generated alt text. So I'm going to select the option to do that now, and instead type a description just like the one I provided. So costumed Alabama mascot Big Al on the sidelines of Bryant-Denny Stadium. And there's a number of different ways that image could be described depending on sort of the context in which we're sharing it and our purpose for sharing it. But that is the process for supplying your own alt text before an image is posted to Facebook. So at this point, if I wanted to save the alt text and post the image to our Facebook page, I could simply select save and then choose share now or schedule, sort of depending on the different publishing options. I'm not going to do that now, but you've had a chance to see how that works. You also have the ability to go back and change the alt text of a photo after you've posted it. The way to do that is to select a photo. So I'll go to our collection of photos. So select a photo. I'm going to choose this image promoting a read and write workshop. Then select options and then select change alt text. And we can see that the automatically generated alt text for the photo was text. For whatever reason, Facebook's AI doesn't do a great job of recognizing the actual text in the image. It just simply recognizes that there is text. So the alternative text that we supplied was read and write, free intro workshop, Wednesday, October 17th, A232 Gordon Palmer Hall, frc.ua.edu/workshops. And again, if you didn't have a chance to or weren't aware of the ability to provide the alt text at the time you posted an image, this is how you would go back and edit it later. It was recently reported that Facebook's accessibility team is also looking at a similar tool for video that could automatically describe what's happening in video, which is a pretty exciting prospect. Another thing you'll want to be sure to do is caption your video content that you share on Facebook. And there's a few different ways to add captions to a video on Facebook. You can upload a caption file, such as the one you'd receive from our captioning grant provider, rev.com, but you can also write captions or auto-generate them. We'll caution you against relying on the auto-generate caption option on Facebook or anywhere else for that matter. Automatic captions like YouTube's or Facebook's only average 60 to 70% accuracy and are therefore not considered accessible. Can you use automatic captions as a starting point? Absolutely, provided you review them and edit or remove any parts that haven't been properly transcribed. But you can't rely on automatic captions alone. So let's go back to the Technology Accessibility Facebook page and look at how to add caption to your page's video. So we'll start the process in a similar manner to how we got things started with sharing a photo. I'll select Add Photo/Video, then choose Upload Photos/Video. This time, instead of selecting an image, I'm going to select a video file, an MP4 file. Choose Open. In the right sidebar, we have several options for the video, including subtitles and captions. I'm selecting that now. So we're asked to specify what language the video is in. If the video includes more than one language, we choose the main language, the primary language spoken in the video, which in this case happens to be English, American English. And here are the three options I mentioned: the ability to auto-generate captions, the ability to actually type the captions while on the Facebook platform, or the ability to upload a caption file. I'm choosing upload because I have a caption file that was provided through our captioning grant. I'm navigating to that captioning file. It's an SRT file. Choosing open. The captions will be added. And then choose the default language to share the captions in, which in this case is English, is really our only choice. So after we have uploaded our file, we can then choose Next, provide any additional information that we would normally have to provide when publishing a video, and then go ahead and make that video available. And I'm going to exit without saving because we've already shared that video on our Facebook page. You'd follow a similar process to add captions to an existing video on the page. So you would find the post of the video, somewhere on your page's timeline. We don't happen to have anything up right now. We actually previously shared that video via a YouTube link. But you do have the ability to click in the top right corner of a pre-existing video, select Edit Post, and follow the same steps. One advantage of having captions, beyond providing necessary access to users who are deaf or hard of hearing, is that people who watch your page's video with the sound turned off will automatically see captions. People who watch your video with the sound turned on will need to turn captions on to see them. The language that people see the captions in is determined by their preferred language. Our final sort of tip that's specific to Facebook is to keep up with Facebook accessibility. Facebook helps information about accessibility for people with disabilities, and the Facebook accessibility team's own Facebook page are good places to learn about and stay up to date with built-in features and technologies that help people with disabilities get the most out of Facebook. And I'll send links to both of those in the webinar follow-up email. Let's talk about Twitter. Twitter is a popular place to post photos and other graphics. Fortunately, it has a feature that makes it simple to add descriptions to these images. The descriptions can then be read by assistive technologies such as screen readers. So the first step to using this feature is to turn it on in the Twitter account. And this works for both personal accounts or an account you might be using for a business purpose. So I'm going to access the Technology Accessibility Twitter account. I'm already signed into that account. The way to turn on the ability to add image descriptions is accessed through the account settings. So I'm selecting Profile and Settings, and then choosing Settings and Privacy. In the left sidebar, I'll go to the accessibility related settings by selecting accessibility. And here is where one toggles on and off the ability to compose image descriptions. So once you've checked that box, compose image descriptions, you'll be able to describe any images you share via Twitter in a way that benefits screen reader and other users. So while this feature, the ability to turn on this feature, well, let me back up a step. While this feature, the ability to provide the descriptions, is available on Twitter.com, in the official Twitter apps, and on TweetDeck, not all third-party account management tools offer the option to add descriptions to images. So you might want to take this into consideration when selecting tools and planning social media workflows. Also, you have to turn on this setting on the desktop version of Twitter.com, the last I checked. So while you can compose the image descriptions on your phone, you would have to go into your account on a desktop or laptop computer to check the box that allows you to do so. This slide includes the hashtag Roll Tide, formatted in two different ways. One in which all of the letters are lowercase, and one in which the words roll and tide are capitalized. For screen readers and similar tools, this is a very important distinction. If each word is capitalized, the screen reader will recognize it and read it as an individual word within the hashtag. But if it's not capitalized, it may run together with other words in a way that makes the hashtag very difficult to understand. If your hashtags include compound words or phrases, write them so each word or phrase begins with a capital letter. This practice is known as camel case, and it means the difference between roll tide and roll tide. This next consideration, avoiding emoji and display names, has to do with how screen readers voice Twitter content. Most screen readers can read descriptions of emoji, but including them in your social media account display names can be confusing. We're going to take a look at that in action. Accessibility professional Nicholas Steenhout, Twitter display name is usually his first and last name, Nicholas Steenhout. However, for sake of example, he modified his display name by adding several emoji to it: a wheelchair symbol, a raised fist, a Canadian flag, and so on. He then used VoiceOver, the screen reading tool built into the Mac OS and iOS operating systems, to read his display name. Here's what that sounded like.
Emoji, wheelchair symbol emoji, raised fist emoji, party popper Nicholas emoji, flag of Canada emoji, smiling face with smiling eyes Steenhout at Valroom, link.
So instead of just reading his name, Nicholas Steenhout, we had descriptions of several emoji, including a couple of them between his first and last name. So again, it's nice that most screen readers will describe emoji, but maybe leave the emoji for the body of the tweet rather than including it in the display name. Let's talk about Instagram. Instagram is a mobile photo and video sharing service where users take images or videos, apply digital filters, and have the ability to share photos and videos on the application itself and on a wide variety of social networking services. And yes, blind people actually use Instagram. So in this video, blind user Tommy Edison, who's been blind since birth, demonstrates how to use Instagram on the iPhone. He uses it with the accessibility settings on his phone that allow him to navigate the touch screen in some applications. We'll take a look at
So
Tommy
today I'm
doing
going to show you how Instagram works. You may be saying, a blind guy using Instagram? Watch. The interesting thing about doing Instagram for me is that I get to take pictures of the world as it sort of goes by, or places that I go, little pictures of work or whatever. And it's just sort of fun for me. I've never had a camera before. And yes, just like the iPhone, Instagram is accessible too.
Instagram.
So what that means is that the iPhone will talk to me as I move my finger around the screen and tell me where I am.
Tab bar home. Tab bar popular. Tab bar camera.
So let's just get the camera up.
Tab bar camera. Button.
And look, now on the bottom,
Take photo. Button.
that's what it will do. So we'll just take a picture of the crew. Why am I holding the phone up to my face like I can look through the thing is beyond me? But here we go. And there's our picture. So I can just run my finger across the bottom of the phone and it'll tell me what filters I have to choose from.
Apply filter Amaro button. Apply filter Rise button.
So we'll select Filters Pro 2.
Apply filters Pro 2.
Let's accept our picture.
Accept photo button.
And now we have to put a caption on it.
Caption.
So now we'll just tell Siri what to write.
Dictate.
Here's a picture of the crew, as we shoot the Instagram video, period. Now we have to choose all the different sharing options.
Toggle Twitter sharing. Toggle Facebook sharing. Toggle Flickr sharing. Toggle Tumblr sharing. Switch button. Off. On. Done.
And here's our Instagram. Look.
Here's a picture of the crew as we shoot the Instagram video. Biland Film Critic. Image.
I've been getting some interesting comments about these too. You know, somebody told me that one was just an orange smudge. So I took a nature shot one time and somebody said I couldn't screw up nature. I took one of myself and it was a shot up my left nostril, so it was great.
Here's another video from Tommy showing how he reads comments on Instagram.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
What do you say, everybody? Today we're going to talk about Instagram. I love Instagram. I do. It's fun, right? I take pictures. You know, I post it on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and everywhere. And then you want to know what happens next. How do you read the comments and stuff? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll show you. So let's do an Instagram then. I'll just take one and we'll watch and see what happens and see how we read the comments.
Instagram. Open camera button. Shutter button.
And there's our photo.
Welcome back, old friend.
We'll put the phone back down here and we'll just sit and wait. And no, I'm not going to eat the cupcake.
8:41. One notification.
Ooh, a couple notifications about our picture. Let's see what's happening.
Twitter. At Instagram. Falsicle said. Squiggly goodness.
Squiggly goodness, see? You gotta like that.
Twitter. At Ping Twu favorited. Welcome back, old friend.
See, somebody just favorited that on Twitter. Let's just see if there's anything else on Instagram.
267 likes.
Ooh.
Roberta_73. The chocolate cupcakes and the Twinkies are my thing. Graceland 226. My favorite hostess snack. Icon has puppy @_.
What does that mean? At. I don't know. Sometimes the emoticons work great because there are some that describe, you know, it's like smiling with mouth open wide or red heart or clenching fist or all these different things that they have. They're great. But that one didn't work. You know, sometimes like D or X, those ones don't really work for me. But pretty cool, right? That's how it works. So I hear everything you write. All of it,
So Tommy spoke a little bit to the emoji versus emoticon issue there at the end of the video. If you add emoji using your emoji keyboard, typically the screen reader can do a better job of describing those than if you do text-based emoji, like using a colon and the letter D to indicate a big smile. So that's something else to keep in mind. Like Facebook, Instagram also has automatic alternative text feature that uses object recognition technology to create descriptions of photos. You can replace this text to provide a better description of a photo, but keep in mind that the description will only be read if someone is using a screen reader to access Instagram. I'll send you a link to the step-by-step instructions for this, but to see and edit alt text for a photo before you post it on Instagram, you start by taking a photo, choosing a filter and editing the image as usual, then tap Next, then choose Advanced Settings, write alt text, write your alt text in the box, and then tap Done or Save. You can also change the alt text of a photo after you've already posted it on Instagram by going to the photo and tapping, choosing Edit, choosing Add Alt Text, and after writing your alt text, selecting Done or Save. As on Twitter, Instagram allows hashtags in posts to help users navigate by topic more quickly. And as we discussed with Twitter, using camel case hashtags, where every word in the hashtag is capitalized, helps ensure the hashtag's words are read clearly by screen readers. Snapchat is another social media platform that is very focused on multimedia content, which can make it difficult to ensure that messages are accessible. Following the general accessibility best practices we started with today is particularly important when it comes to Snapchat, which has even less to offer accessibility-wise than the other sites and apps we've looked at. So some things to keep in mind, in particular with Snapchat, less is more. Snapchat offers the option to add many different types of animations, edits, and captions to photos and videos, but including too many may make posts confusing or unreadable for those with visual impairments or cognitive disabilities. To improve accessibility, you might limit the type and number of the features added to snaps. Excuse me. You should also avoid strobing, flickering, or flashing effects in particular, which can be problematic for people with some forms of epilepsy, vestibular disorder, or migraines. Share your Snapchat content on other platforms. Snapchat content can be saved to the memory section of the app and then exported, which offers the option to reshare it on another platform with added accessibility features. And this is a good option to keep records of the content shared on Snapchat as well. The final platform we'll talk about specifically is YouTube. Many university departments, programs, and areas have YouTube channels. And though there are other video sharing sites, YouTube remains dominant in this area. And fortunately, it also offers ways to improve accessibility of videos, even if those videos are also shared on other platforms. YouTube offers multiple options for creating captions for video content, including automatically generated captions. And though these automatic captions are a helpful feature, they often have numerous errors. So don't plan to rely solely on these captions. Let's take a look at how to add captions to a YouTube video. I'm currently signed into the Technology Accessibility YouTube account. I'm selecting my account options and navigating to YouTube Studio. Notice that this version of YouTube Studio is in beta, so things will look a little different if you're not using the beta version. While in YouTube Studio, in the left sidebar, you'll want to select Videos, and then click on the title or thumbnail of the video to which you'd like to add captions. The ability to add captions is found in the Advanced tab, so I'll navigate to that now. Scrolling down, there's a section for subtitles and closed captions for original video language. This is where, if this video did not yet have captions, we would be able to upload a caption file. The nice thing about this is that if you have a caption file that includes time codes, such as one you'd receive from rev.com, our captioning vendor, that's perfect. That's great. However, you can upload a transcript and YouTube will allow you to sync that with the video content as well. So you don't even have to have an SRT or caption specific file, provided you have a transcript with text. In addition to making your videos accessible, there are some additional benefits to hosting captioned video on YouTube. Closed captions open up your content for greater discovery on YouTube. Let's see if I can get back to the main YouTube page. I'm going to do a search for something I'm interested in, which is Dansko shoes. So I'm going to do a search for Danskos and filter the results to just those that have subtitles or closed captions. Many users who are deaf or hard of hearing, or those who learn better by reading in addition to listening, or just simply are in an environment in which they need to use captions, are going to be limiting their searches to find captioned video. So by providing those captions, again, it sort of allows for greater discovery for the users that are looking specifically for captioned videos. Captions also open up your YouTube content to those who speak languages besides the ones spoken in your video. We'll just look at this shoe video.
What's up, Internet peeps?
I'll pause it momentarily. I'm selecting settings where we can see the languages in which captions are provided. So currently we have auto-generated captions and then an English caption track that the content creator has uploaded. There's also an auto-translate feature. So I could select this, choose my language of choice, and based on the caption file provided by the video content creator, YouTube would attempt to display those captions in my language of choice. You know, it is automatically generated, so like anything automatically generated, it's not going to be perfect. But again, if you choose to put the video on YouTube and you choose to provide captions, you're making this additional feature available, which is especially important in a teaching and learning context. Captions are also beneficial for viewers in quiet offices or other spaces where audio use is discouraged, people in loud environments in which it's difficult to hear or understand, and people who learn better when they're able to read along while hearing the words spoken aloud. If you share a video with no sound or only background music, and this applies on both Facebook and YouTube and anywhere else you share video for that matter. If you share a video with no sound or only background music, be sure to indicate this in the captions and in the metadata or description for the video so that users know that the video doesn't include sound, that they're not missing the audio part of the viewing experience. If you're creating a video that has a lot of visual content that's not reflected in the audio, such as a virtual tour, consider creating audio descriptions. Though YouTube doesn't have a built-in tool for creating these, they can be added to a video with other tools before uploading to YouTube to ensure that the video is accessible to the broadest possible audience. And I'll include links to a couple of those tools in the follow-up email. In closing, everyone in the UA community has some responsibility when it comes to creating accessible content. I hope this has been helpful to you and that you've learned about some features and some information that you can use to make your social media content more accessible to the broadest possible audience. I'm going to stop here. I hope that you found this useful and you won't hesitate to reach out to us if we can help. As you put what you learned into practice, you can contact our team by visiting accessibility.ua.edu or via email at accessibility@ua.edu. That's all I have. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts you'd like to share? You can do that by turning on your mic or sharing in the chat box. Chris writes, thanks for the presentation, Melissa. You're most welcome, Chris. All right, well, I thank you all for your time and your attention this afternoon. Please do keep in touch. Let us know if we can help. Have a good one.